A very good afternoon, everyone. I'm Dr. Ravichandra, Assistant Professor, ENC Department, PS College of Engineering, Mandya. I hope so that you had an interesting session in the morning, wherein you were introduced to the college facilities, amenities, and the infrastructure that the college provides you. Uh, I hope so that it was informative and. Uh, we also want you to get used to this digital era by by utilizing. Okay. So we also wanted you to introduce you to this digital era, wherein lots of people have experienced different things, where everyone wants to get rid of habits of scrolling through mobile phones. They want to reduce the usage of devices, and they want to make use of the devices in a better fashion. Everyone, you might have experienced this even in your homes itself, wherein your parents generally have a complaint that you will use your mobile phones up to a longer hours than what is required. So there is a imbalance that usually students face. They are supposed to maintain a balance between the usage of digital gadgets for informative purpose and reducing the usage for for the purposes that are really not required. So with this intention, we have introduced you. We are just starting this induction program with a much more informative session about how to really balance that experiences or habit of scrolling through your mobile phones unnecessarily, or way of balancing your digital life as and when it is required. Okay, so just to introduce you to our speaker of the session, Dr. Ravichandra Karkal is an associate professor of psychiatry at Ennapoya Medical College, Mangalore. He is a leading consultant psychiatrist and psychotherapist. He provides comprehensive and human care with right balance of medications and counseling. He has completed his education and training from reputed institutes, like he has completed his MBBS from Mysore Medical College and Research Institute. He has completed his MD from Central Institute of Psychiatry, Ranchi. His area of interest generally are child and adolescent mental health, depression, and anxiety disorders. He has decades of experience in managing psychiatric disorders, specifically in children and adolescents. Uh, he has also experienced, he is also well versed. He has decades of experience in providing consultation to elderly individuals also. He has used his creative abilities in various fields like writing, photography, public speaking, to reach out young people and to balance and to create a mental health awareness uh, in India and also in abroad. Specifically during COVID-19 crisis, his articles and talks have been of interest to many people, specifically students and parents who have who have been very much interested in solving their crisis that they are facing at home, like balancing the digital platforms. His article specifically of interest, which I have gone through, Puppets in the Hands of Algorithm, which is specifically designed about social media giants, how they are impacting our lives, is very interesting. If you want to balance your digital era, like whatever you have experienced with social dilemma or social networking, so it gives you it gives you a brief idea about how social media giants like Facebook, Instagram are actually using you as a platform to publicize themselves or to gain profits. So in this way, I would say that this session will be much more informative to your personal life than to your college life. Okay, anyone who has an intention of improving their personal life can utilize this platform up to maximum extent. And with this introduction, I'll just hand over the session. I'll just pass on the things to Dr. Karkal. So he can take over, and he'll be addressing you for the next few minutes.
Good afternoon, everyone. Uh, First of all, a warm welcome to all the students of PS College of Engineering, Mandya, to this induction program that is being conducted by the college. I would also like to extend my gratitude to the management and faculty of PS College of Engineering, especially Dr. K.A. Radhakrishna Rao, who is the professor and HOD of Department of Electronics and Communications, and Dr. Revanesh M. From Department of Electronics and Communication for assisting me in conducting this program. Let me just share my screen. Yeah, so I'm very excited about sharing my views about such a relevant topic for this era. You know, how to balance life during the digital era. So as you all know, technology, internet, gadgets, smartphones, and all other sorts of digital devices have pervaded our lives. It has an impact on each and every aspect of our life. Let me just give you an interesting example from my own life. I am a person who follows technology and comedy mostly on YouTube. So one fine day, I was just checking, a comedy sketch by one of the comedians I follow, and he mentioned about an Indian participant in MasterChef Australia. So I was very curious whether this stand-up comedian is just using an imaginary character, or is this a real character. I just wanted to check it out. So I just did a search on YouTube about MasterChef Australia. So what happened is I watched few videos on MasterChef Australia, which included this particular Indian participant, which the comedian was referring to. So the next day when I opened YouTube, I see that the first thing that on my YouTube timeline is again a video on MasterChef Australia. So without my knowledge, I kept clicking on these videos of MasterChef reality show. I'm not a person who is, who knows anything about cooking. I am particularly not interested in the culinary skills that are on display in that particular show of MasterChef. But still, I spent a few hours of my time over a period of a week watching some, random videos about some cooking reality show. At that point of time, it just struck me whether, as Revanesh was mentioning, I was a puppet whose strings are being pulled by some technology giants who are sitting in the Silicon Valley and influencing, my lifestyle, my viewing habits on YouTube. So, as you know, I was, becoming prey to the algorithms on social media platforms, which actually influence not only things that we may wear, like our fashion likings. It can also influence whom do we vote. It can influence whether we wear masks during the COVID-19 pandemic. It may also influence our willingness to take vaccinations which are designed for COVID-19 pandemic. Such is the influence of social media and the algorithms which run the social media on the everyday life of each and every one of us. So it becomes extremely important for all of us to understand how to balance life during the digital era. So this is especially important for youngsters like you who are just embarking on the journey of engineering in this COVID-19 crisis, because we are heading towards a e-learning approach. I am pretty sure many of you would take majority of your classes through online mode like what we are doing right now. So these e-learning platforms are looking like the future of education, right? So it becomes extremely important for youngsters like you to understand how you can manage the usage of devices and gadgets so that you can utilize them in the right way, in a smart way, and utilize them for your success and not to your detriment. So each one of you, I am pretty sure, when you are starting your journey today, you are expecting to realize your full potential. You want to discover your talents, your immense skills and talents that you have inside you already, and you want to cope with the pressures and the challenges that comes with college education, also the challenges that are posed by the COVID-19 pandemic and the restrictions on the traditional education that we knew of. And at the end of these few years of life at PS College Engineering, you want to graduate, and you want to not only end up getting a degree, but you want to come out with flying colors. You want to come out with skills which are employable, and also you want to contribute to the society in a large way. So you really should understand how you can have a balanced life so that you can become a successful student. But I'm afraid that the younger generation is immersed in technology, internet, gadgets, and devices. I'm pretty sure these three symbols that you are seeing on the screen right now, it would send any of the youngsters into a panic mode, right? Some of you may get really angry and frustrated that why the Wi-Fi is not getting connected, or why my device is so slow today, or my battery is dying. If your battery is dying, then all hell breaks loose, right? So somebody has jokingly put it that these are the three worst things that could happen to the younger generation. So for young people who are so much entangled with technology and the usage of technology in everyday life, it is crucial to understand how it can impact each and every aspect of your life. You would be surprised that teenagers use phones and other devices, or basically the average screen time that is spent on devices is somewhere between 7 to 8 hours. 7 hours 22 minutes on average, to be exact, according to a survey that was conducted. And do you know how much that amounts to? 7 hours and 22 minutes a day amounts to 50 hours a week, or 200 hours a month, or 2,400 hours a year. So that means you are spending nearly 1/3 of the time in a year on your screens. And definitely this time, this average time that was it was from the from a survey which was done in the pre-COVID times. So especially during the COVID-19 pandemic, where we are interacting, where we are learning on our devices, I'm pretty sure this time would be much more for an average teenager. So nearly 1/3 of the time gets used looking at a screen. Nearly 1/3, that is 7 hours, you should sleep. So you are hardly left with 1/3 of the year to do anything in life, right? So if you do not manage your time on screens, being spent on screens, then definitely you are losing a precious amount of your life, right? Especially the time that you have in your hands right now as a teenager, as a young person, is very, very precious, right? So you cannot afford to waste time away. So that much of time being spent on devices, what does that entail? What it means is many of us have started showing addictive behaviors. That is, we are hooked to our screens. I am pretty sure many of you have felt like this. If all of a sudden you notice that you don't have your phone in your pocket, you start scampering around and looking where I have left my smartphone. You keep your smartphone away for one whole day and try to spend your time without using your phone. I'm pretty sure you will feel restless. You will, crave to open the social media platforms that you use, like Facebook or Instagram. And I'm pretty sure some of you will get so restless that you would run and grab your smartphone, right? So what we understand, like a person getting addicted or getting dependent on alcohol or cannabis or, cigarettes, you can get addicted to your devices. You can get addicted to the internet, smartphone, and various social media platforms in a very similar manner. So such amount of time spent on your devices can put you at risk for addictive behaviors, and that can influence your life very much. And as Revanesh was also hinting, there is a very famous saying in the tech industry: if you are not paying for the product, you are the product. So the technology giants of Facebook or Instagram or Google, or LinkedIn or Snapchat, these people are not men of charity, right? So they are not, they have not started a company to give users their applications for free, right? So they are businessmen, right? They are, corporates which have monopolized the internet, and they have one clear agenda, that is to sell your attention to the highest bidder. I'm pretty sure all of you have experienced. You look up, for example, I look up about the latest OnePlus phone on Google, and the next day I get an ad from Amazon on Facebook about the latest OnePlus 80 phone, and it invites me to buy that phone on Facebook. I am on Facebook to check out my friends' pictures, but Amazon is trying to sell me a product on Facebook. So I'm pretty sure sometimes you feel, even paranoid that whether these guys are spying on each and everything that I do on internet. So why do they do that? Because they want to sell advertisements, and they want your full attention on the screens, because that's how they will attract these advertisers. That's how they will attract those highest bidders, and they will sell your attention to those bidders. So be careful and be very wise when you are choosing to use any social media platform or any device for that matter. I was just very curious about this, and I was searching, on the internet, and I found out that in fact there is a whole industry, designed to get you chained to your devices. I came across a book, something called as How to Build Habit-Forming Products. That means they are not satisfied if you just check your Facebook once a day and wish your friend who has a birthday today. They want you to come back on Facebook at least, 10 times or 20 times. And I'm pretty sure for an average teenager, it's much more than that. So there is a book called Hooked, and it claims that it will teach you how to build habit forming products. And as I told already, social media addiction is no different from addiction to nicotine or cigarettes or alcohol, right? The same brain regions, okay, something called as the reward pathway in your brain, okay. So what happens is when you eat a nice laddu prepared by your mother, there is a release of a chemical called as dopamine in the reward pathway of your brain. So when dopamine is released in your brain, you feel a sensation of pleasure, right? So when you eat laddu, there is, hypothetically, let's say there is release of 2 units of dopamine in the reward pathway of your brain. And that's why you feel the pleasure when you eat your, laddus prepared by your mom. But what happens is when you are playing Temple Run, or when you are, scrolling through Instagram and looking at the social media influencers, the same or more amount of dopamine gets released in the reward pathway. So what happens is slowly, it is so exciting to look at the social media platforms that you get addicted to it. You get hooked to it. So you have to understand that, there are people right now sitting and, designing things so that you become dependent on these screens that you have in your pocket. So that's why it is important for you to be very watchful, when you are using devices, when you are using social media. I have also spoken to many youngsters who talk about something called as FOMO. Okay. So FOMO was a word which was introduced into the Oxford Dictionary few years ago. And what it means is fear of missing out. I was talking with a client. He was telling me that, he sleeps at 4 o'clock in the morning. So I asked him, like, my God, what are you doing at 4 o'clock in the morning? Right. So he told me, sir, all the fun stuff is happening at 2 o'clock and 3 o'clock in the morning. And if I'm asleep, I will miss out on so much, that I can enjoy. Right. So all my friends are playing some games on the laptop. They are chatting. They are doing into some group chat on WhatsApp. They are doing some video conferencing on Facebook. So basically, what I'm trying to tell here is, as we use these devices more and more, we get, uh, so used to these platforms that the moment we keep away our devices for a short duration of time, it creates some sort of fear and anxiety in us that we are missing a big chunk of our life. We are somehow missing out on a lot of fun or pleasure or joy. We are missing out on happiness. And ultimately, we bring back the screens, right? So it is very, very troubling for teenagers like you. Also, because of all the gadgets, I'm pretty sure each one of you may have a desktop or a laptop with you. You definitely have a smartphone. You may have a wearable, device on your hands, on your wrist. You may have some headphones with you. You are juggling with so many devices, and you are also trying to pay attention on your books at the same time. Neuroscientists and cognitive scientists have shown through research that our brain was not designed for multitasking. Somehow, the modern society has been, creating this kind of an illusion that if we are able to juggle so many things at one point of time, if we are able to multitask, then we are somehow, better than other individuals. We wear it like a badge of honor if we are able to multitask at the same time. But believe my friends, multitasking is not good for your brain, right? You may have seen that hourglass, old time, they had an hourglass, and they say that, the hourglass leaves only 1 grain of sand to pass through the neck of the hourglass, right, at one time. And if you try to push 2-3 grains at one time, I'm pretty sure in few days time, the hourglass will break away, right? So our brain is also like that. If you keep on doing too many things at one time, not only your efficiency and productivity will come down, you will also feel exhausted at the end of the day, and you will also feel burnt out at the end of, at the end of everything. So basically, multitasking is a myth, right, which is widespread these days. You have to believe in single tasking. If you can keep away your devices and focus on what you are reading at this point of time, your efficiency will definitely increase multiple times. Your retention capacity, your ability to recall what you have read, your ability to comprehend and apply the things and concepts that you understand, that you are learning at that point of time, will be much better off if you are single tasking than multitasking. So say no to multitasking and say yes to single tasking. Another, evil that, is rampant these days, and I'm pretty sure all youngsters will be exposed to these things at a very young age, right? So internet pornography can be really harmful to the young minds, right? So, what happens is, many people who watch internet pornography at a very young age, they develop very wrong kinds of attitudes towards their body, towards their sexuality, and also towards the act of sex. You have to understand that pornography is a staged stuff. Just because Salman Khan, jumps from the aeroplane without a parachute and lands safely on land, doesn't mean you can do it, right? because Salman Khan is just acting. Okay, so people, when they watch pornography, right, especially young people who do not have exposure to any sex education for that matter in their schools, when they watch pornography, they get all sort of wrong notions about their bodies. You know, many people feel ashamed of their bodies. Many people compare their bodies and genital organs to whatever is on display on pornography and develop lot of misconceptions, lot of inferiority complexes about their bodies, about their sexuality, and also they force themselves to do unnatural stuff which, you know, may not be necessary, right? And simply, you know, hamper their mental health at such young age, right? I see many clients who have, you know, so many wrong notions, not only about their bodies, also about their sexuality and about their sexual lives. Basically, they get anxious about their future sexual lives, and you know, it can be a great hindrance to the development of a young person's mind. So it is extremely important for you guys. You know, internet pornography is rampant. Okay, you cannot really escape it, right? But if you have the right knowledge about sex and sexuality, if you can educate yourself with the right material and resources, then definitely you will have the knowledge, you will be empowered with knowledge by which you can handle, you know, what is on display in internet pornography, right? And also, internet pornography can be addictive, like a social media addiction or a smartphone addiction. It can become addictive to such a point that you are not interested in paying attention to on your education, you are not interested in social life, and you are happy sitting at your room and watching pornography. So you have to be very careful. Try to nip it off in the, you know, in the bud stage itself, right? So be very careful about your habits of watching pornography. Also, you know, most youngsters these days are playing games, are into gaming with their smartphones or their laptops or desktop computers, right? So it is seen that most of these games, right, are designed in such a fashion that they create such an immersive experience for you that somehow you start believing as if you are living a second life, you know. And many of these games are called as role playing games, where you get this vicarious pleasure that as if you are the person who is in that shooting game, right? Whether you are playing Fortnite or PUBG or Call of Duty, right, or any strategy games, right, or any other sort of games, they all create such a illusion that you are the one who is in charge of that game. See, this may not be harmful for someone who is using it for entertainment for a very short duration of time, but there are a lot of people among us who are not very social, who don't like to go out and meet their friends, who don't like to talk with their friends and spend time, who don't like maybe group activities, and they may feel that this sitting and playing their games is much easier and much more pleasurable, and that can be really addictive for these individuals. Also, it is seen that people who play first person shooter games, FPS games, they can become very impulsive, right? Especially in their interpersonal relationships, they lose their cool much faster. They tend to aggression much faster, right? So anything that we watch every day can definitely influence our minds. So if you are exposing yourself to violent games few hours a day, on the trot for many years, I'm pretty sure it will influence the way you think and behave in your real life too, right? So you have to be very careful. Don't play with your life. Use these games. There are definitely certain games which can be helpful for you. It can help you to improve your cognitive skills, but they are a rarity. Okay, and all games also have lot of tricks by which they want to trap you into addictive behaviors. So be watchful about them. Another serious problem that most of the healthcare workers have faced, especially during this COVID-19 pandemic, is the fake news that spreads like wildfire on various social media platforms. You will be surprised, these fake news spread faster than the coronavirus, right? So as I was alluding to in the beginning of my lecture, these social media platforms sometimes are like strings which control us and make us dance like puppets, right? You all know how Facebook influenced how voting was done, right? Few years back. We have all known how social media have led to the rise of people who are against vaccination, and it had led to outbreaks of measles in a very developed country like United States of America. And of course, I'm not going to talk about all the communal tension and the religious disharmony that gets gets started by various social media platforms. The fake news and the wrong stuff, the disinformation and the misinformation that spreads on social media acts like a catalyst for so many social evils that we are facing right now. So you have to be very careful. Any content that you see online can be, very problematic for you. So you have to be careful. What are you sharing at any point of time? So whatever you see on the internet, before you like it, or before you comment on that thread, or before you share it with your friends and family, do check it once or twice. There are many websites now which even do a fact check for you, and and tell you whether really whatever information you are seeing is accurate and good information, or right information, or it is just some fake news being spread for whatever fun people get out of it. I don't know. So beware of fake news that gets spread so easily on social media. Also, many of us have a digital identity now, right? We are on so many social media platforms and so many other websites and digital platforms on the internet that somehow, at times we feel that, there is a large divide between how we portray ourselves on social media and how we are truly in our real life. I'm pretty sure many of you may have felt pressurized or forced to sometimes put your selfies on Instagram. Even though you are not a person who would share your personal pictures on Instagram, but because your friends are doing it, you are compelled to share them on the internet. Or you may be taking part in some bizarre and awkward challenge that is being circulated in various platforms like the old TikTok, right? There are people who have broken their bones, okay, and even lost their life, right? Taking up these silly challenges, which can end up in not so silly and serious consequences for so many people. So basically what I'm trying to tell here is, because we have a digital identity, sometimes we are forced to portray ourselves in a certain way, right? My dear friends, I will try to I would try to remind you that nobody posts pictures of them crying when they failed in their exams. Nobody would post the picture of them getting angry when they were facing some challenge in life, right? Of course, I would put pictures of the happy times that I'm spending in my life. So when you go through the timeline and you scroll through, all the posts which are only focused about the happy things that happen in our life, happy things are not constant. They just happen once in a while and they're transient. But when you keep scrolling Instagram or Facebook and you keep watching these posts one after the other, it somehow creates the illusion in our head that the whole world is very happy and I'm the only person who is so sad and who is so disturbed, right? About not able to go and meet my friends, or not able to go freely without a mask outside, or go to the theater and watch a movie, or go on a dream vacation that I had planned for 2020. So you may get, this kind of illusion, and you may you may be forced to think that somehow other people's lives are much better than your life, and that is that is a big problem for many youngsters, right? Because you have to understand that being happy all the time is not a natural state for human beings. You cannot be happy all the time, right? You have to go through the full set of emotions, be it anger or sadness or anxiety or fear, right? And definitely all the positive emotions such as happiness and peace and feeling equanimity, all those things. So you have to understand that if you are forcing yourself to portray yourself as a particular person on the internet, then you be watchful about it, because soon you will start feeling fake, that you are a hypocritic person, because you are portraying yourself on social media as one thing, and that your real self is different. So don't develop a sort of split personality, okay? And don't get pressurized by your peers or by the society to lead your life in a certain way. Also, you have to understand that whatever you do, the tweets that you send on Twitter, the posts that you put on Facebook, the pictures that you share on Snapchat, the messages that you send on WhatsApp, or the files you have shared, or the videos you have shared on YouTube, everything lives forever. People say that whatever you put on these platforms and whatever you put on the internet is there permanently. No matter how much you try to delete and get rid of it from the internet, there may be some workaround for that, or there may be some access to it somehow. So you have to be very careful. As a young person, you may be doing something impulsively without thinking of the consequences of what you're doing on the internet, but you may regret that few years down the line. Imagine with the kind of power that some tech giants have about all the data that we share on the internet. If a prospective employer, 5 years down the line, you get employed, you get a job offer at Google or IBM, and what if your prospective employer has access to all the stuff that you have put on the internet? So you leave a trail on the internet. Your digital footprint is something which you have to be watchful about. So whatever you post on the internet, whatever you chat, or whatever you do basically on the internet, be very careful about that. Also, one of the evils of the internet is something known as cyberbullying. So some of you who don't know what is bullying is basically insulting someone or teasing someone, spreading some rumors about someone, threatening someone, calling names, harassing someone, basically being a mean person towards another human being and hurt their feelings and emotions. So that is bullying. And with the advent of these devices and the smartphones, it has really empowered a lot of sadistic people to do lot of bad things, right? So I'm pretty sure a lot of you would have faced various sorts of insults on various social media platforms. I'm pretty sure many of the girls would have got some direct messages which are absolutely rubbish. So but it happens these days, and there is no control over some of these applications that are in the hands of these kind of people, right? So you have to be careful with whom are you interacting. Like for example, if you meet a stranger on the road, you would definitely not talk about your private life. You would not talk about very personal stuff with that stranger. But when somebody sends you a message on WhatsApp, that kind of inhibition or that kind of restraint is not followed by us. So when we get a message from an unknown number, somehow we trust them better than we trust a person who we meet as a stranger on the streets, right? So you have to be careful, like with whom are you interacting, right? Are you sharing some private information which you may regret later, right? Are you making sure that all your stuff on your phones are secure and private? So because those can be used by these cyber bullies, right? And somehow, you don't realize, sometimes many of us act like bullies on the internet. I'm pretty sure you all know the incident of, the sad demise of Sushant Singh Rajput. There were so many people, who were trolling various Bollywood actors after the death of Sushant Singh. So, unknowingly, we also join hands and become a bully when, we feel that somebody is wrong on the internet. Or when Virat Kohli, gets out for a duck back to back, we use the choicest of words to, tarnish his image on Twitter or Facebook. So we are also bullies that way, right? So ask yourself, whenever you are sending a message or whenever you are posting something on the internet, is it kind to the other person, right? Would I tell these things if I met this person face to face, right? How would I feel if I send a message, if I got a message like this, whatever I'm sending right now, if I got a message like this on my phone, how would it make me feel? So that will probably help you to be not a bully. I would ask you to be a buddy and not a bully, right? So all these things that I discussed so far, the challenges that comes with the age of the internet, the digital era, they also have significant mental health costs. Okay, there was an article in the Time magazine which told that young people who spend 7 hours or more a day on screens are more than twice as likely to be diagnosed with depression or anxiety than those who use screens for an hour a day, right? It was published in Preventive Medicine Reports, a reputed journal. So there are innumerable examples like this, including a study from UK which suggested that increased screen time is associated with anxiety and depression. And we did a study in our own university and found that nearly 25% of the students had Facebook addiction. Nearly about 25 to 30% had probable addiction. And people who were addicted to Facebook experienced more loneliness than people who were not addicted to Facebook. So basically what I'm trying to tell here is, if you get hooked to your devices, if you are using your smartphones and devices for a very, very long time indiscriminately, that is going to impact your mental health too. It can lead to consequences such as feeling anxious, feeling depressed, right? And that can impair the quality of your life. That can impair the experience that you are going to have in your college. So the question comes, of course, how to be in control of these digital technologies, right? And how do we, basically balance our life in the digital era? First thing, right? Whenever you have a digital device nearby, like, a smartphone, right? Ask yourself, like, if you are having this urge, if you are having this itch in your hands to pick up your phone, ask these 3 questions. What for am I picking my phone at this point of time? What for? What do I intend to do at this point of time? Ask yourself, why now? Why am I picking my phone right now? Okay. And the last question, what else can I do at this point of time? I'm pretty sure if you ask these pertinent questions before you open your laptop or before you start scrolling your phone, you would definitely, get some alarm bells in your head that, you are just, doing it as if you are on an autopilot, like an aeroplane on autopilot, which keeps moving in one particular altitude and direction at a particular speed. We also do a lot of stuff like, as if we are on autopilot, like a robot, without even realizing what we are doing with our phones or laptop. So asking these questions, making a conscious effort to ask these questions can stop that. Also, all these smartphone applications have ingenious ways to bring you back to using them, right? By the mode of giving you notifications, right? So even if you mute every notification, Facebook will tell you twice or thrice a day that some friend has a birthday, or something will be, something is very exciting and you should go to Facebook, right? So you should try to limit interruptions on your phones. And how can you do that? There are definitely ways, there are mechanisms in your phone by which you can stop notifications for certain applications, so that you can choose the time when you know want to use Twitter or or Messenger, right? Not it is not the social media platform that decides when you are going to use that particular application. It is you who are in charge. You are not a slave to the application. You are the master of it. So if you want to do that, try to limit the interruptions, try to control the notifications that you get every day on your devices. So you definitely can mute notifications, especially for groups. All our groups are filled with hundreds of forwards every day, which are mostly meaningless, right? So you just can mute it, for a certain duration of time, so that you have undivided attention on whatever task you are doing, whatever meaningful task you are doing at that point of time. Also, as I already told, sometimes unknowingly we just pick our phone out of our pocket. It's mostly out of habit, like as if we are on autopilot, and we open it using our touch our fingerprint or face unlock, and we start clicking or scrolling here and there, right? But if we can put a complex, maybe a custom alphanumeric code as our password before getting into it, and disable touch, fingerprint unlock or face unlock, definitely you will think, it will give you some time to think before you start using your device. And probably you can ask those 3 questions that I already told, right? So basically you will have to put hurdles where you feel that you will go on an autopilot, right? For example, keep your laptop, once you finish your work on your assignment, keep your laptop in a cupboard locked, so that it is not lying on your table and easily accessible, and you don't start using it automatically, right? So put certain checks and hurdles like these, by these are very simple ways by which you can stop yourself from meaningless usage of devices. Also, nowadays smartphones and various applications give you a unique feature by which you can set the time limit that you want to spend on that particular application or on a particular social media platform. Like for example, Instagram, you can set 10 minutes a day, or Facebook, you can set 20 minutes a day, okay? Or a particular application, maybe a game, half an hour a day, right? So you can set some passwords, or there are various applications, you may know about them, right? So you can use these ways to limit, or to observe or to monitor how much time you spend on these various applications and how much time you spend on your devices. Also, it is very important, don't take your phone in the bed, right? So one big problem that happens when you take your phone in your bed is, as you can see in the picture, the blue and the white light that gets emitted from your screens, that can send a signal to your brain that it is not time to sleep yet, okay? It suppresses the release of a hormone known as melatonin in your brain, and your brain thinks that it is not yet time to sleep. So you may keep postponing your bedtime basically, or you may not go to sleep easily. You may over a period of time you may have difficulty falling asleep. So keep your phone away from your bed. That is something which you can definitely do, so that you get a good sound sleep, okay? Because sleep is not only important for your physical health, it is important for your mental health. It is also important for a student, because sleep is when your memory gets consolidated, right? So if you want to remember everything that you have read, if you want to recall whatever you are learning every day, it's crucial that you sleep, okay? So keep the phone away from your bed. Also, all of you can shut off your phones and devices for a certain duration of time, certain fixed duration of time every day, and do some other thing, right? For example, you can sit in your balcony where there are some trees or saplings. You can sit and go, you can go and sit in the garden of your college and spend time in nature away from your phone for maybe an hour every day, right? Or go out for a walk with your friends, right? Or go and play a sport for 1 hour without touching your digital devices. Such a digital detox can definitely give you a lot of peace and calm and make you more in charge of your digital life. Also, use phone as a reward for some behaviors. For example, you can tell yourself, if I can finish my assignment in these 45 minutes, then I can I can reward myself with 15 minutes of watching something interesting on YouTube, right? I will watch my favorite show on Netflix if I am able to complete maybe 5 pages of electronics, right? So use phone as a reward to some desirable behaviors, right? Some behaviors which will be of use to you rather than mindlessly using your devices. One important reason why people get addicted to their devices and why people mindlessly use their phones and gadgets is because they are going through some stress, right? You all know that college education, college life is full of stressors, and we all will face stress. Nobody is an exemption, right? So, and especially during this COVID-19 pandemic, we have all understood that sitting at our homes and when we are faced with an unknown enemy like the COVID-19, we definitely feel very, very anxious. We feel frustrated. We feel sad. We feel lonely. So we have all experienced what it means to feel stressed during the COVID-19 pandemic and lockdown. So it is extremely important. You may have noticed that when you are too stressed, it is very likely that you start using your phone, or you start binge watching something on YouTube or Netflix. It happens automatically. So if you are able to manage your stress, then definitely you will be in charge of your digital life. So what can you do to basically manage your stress? The first thing and the most simple thing that you can do is you carry your breath every day. Wherever you go, you are breathing 24/7. So what you can do is you can take few deep breaths whenever you feel that you are stressed, or you are not able to focus, or you are not able to concentrate, right? You may know that all the ancient techniques of relaxation, such as yoga or any meditation form, or Tai Chi, or you take any ancient form of relaxation that our ancestors knew. It all had some techniques by which you can control your breathing, right? So just focusing on your breathing and slowing down your breathing is like a cheat code which you can use to send a signal to your brain that everything is in control and everything is okay, or everything will be okay. Your nervous system, especially your autonomic nervous system, something called as a sympathetic nervous system, its activity comes down when we take few deep breaths and when we pay attention to how we are breathing in and how we are breathing out, right? So, or you can do a meditation practice such as a mindfulness meditation practice. Okay, so the mindfulness meditation practice, it includes few interesting things. What it tells is, you can do it anywhere. You can do it when you are sitting for some time in your class without any lecture. You can just focus on your breathing, just focus on how your air is going in and air is going out, and try to become aware of your thoughts, emotions, and your bodily sensations, okay, in a very non-judgmental fashion, right? For example, if you are getting a thought that how will I prepare for the internal which is going to come after 15 days, you just become aware of it without paying too much attention to it, and without panicking, right? For example, the thought that you may have difficulty in the exam during internals, it is just an imagination that you're getting at that point of time, right? So if you are not mindful, you will believe as if your examination is going to be difficult, and you will start becoming more anxious and fearful. But if you're mindful, you will pay attention to the thought, okay, and you will understand that it is just a thought, okay, I need not react to it. In the same way, also observe what are the emotions that you're going through and what are the bodily sensations that you're experiencing. This is something known as mindfulness meditation. There are many tutorials on the internet. You can just Google UCLA Mindful, okay, which is a very easy way, there are many meditations, free meditations that they have. So a guide will go on telling you, basically you can wear your earphones and the guide will go on telling you what you have to do, step by step, and you follow those steps, right? So you can do a guided meditation to manage your stress. You can also exercise, exercise is also like meditation. It can have great benefits. It releases chemicals known as endorphins in your body when you go for a jog, or when you run at 10K, okay, or even if you go for a brisk walk for 15-20 minutes around your hostel, it releases these chemicals called endorphins, and which are like pleasure hormones for your body, good pleasure hormones, right? So when you get going, when you hit the gym, when you do some exercise program, it relaxes your body. It not only relaxes your body, it also relaxes your mind, okay? And you all know that a healthy body in a a healthy mind in a healthy body, right? So if you can keep your body fit, your mind also will be fit. Also try to spend some time in the nature, right? So make it a point that once in a while you go to a park, or you go to go for a trek in the mountain, right? Or explore the green side or the countryside, around Mandya, right? Spend some time in nature, okay, with some good friends, okay, without your gadgets, right? Spending time in nature can be really relaxing. Also, spending time with animals and pets can be really relaxing for you. Sleep well, it is a myth if somebody tells you that I can sleep for 2-3 hours and manage, right? It will definitely have some consequences for most of us, okay? A rare few can manage, very, very few can manage with limited number of hours. All of us should sleep for 7 to 8 hours at least, for, all the benefits that I already told earlier, right? Also, try to connect socially, okay? Join some clubs in your college, right? Maybe a literary club, okay, or a drama club, right? Or an eco club. So join a club where you can meet like-minded people, where you can, develop some camaraderie, and, you can socialize in a healthy way, right? And when I say socialize, keep the booze away, right? Keep the cigarettes away, keep the cannabis away, right? Because that's an unhealthy way to manage stress, right? So those are the don'ts of managing stress, using alcohol or cigarettes or cannabis to manage stress, because every drug will impact your body and mind. And especially when your brain is still developing as a teenager, if you get hooked to these substances, or behavioral addictions like social media addiction or smartphone addiction, it can impair the development of your brain. So socialize, okay, connect socially. Social connections give us lot of peace of mind, and it is what makes us human, okay? Eat well, have a healthy diet, right? Have a balanced diet, okay? Eat make sure that you have carbs and proteins and vitamins and minerals, foods rich in various vitamins and minerals and fibers, okay? Ensure that, I know, being a student myself in the past, ensure that you eat a chunk, a portion of vegetables, raw vegetables, green leafy vegetables and fruits in your day-to-day life, right? So, instead of choosing a bottle of Coke, you can choose a fruit bowl, right? Instead. So don't choose junk food, choose healthy food, reduce intake of caffeine, because caffeine can, worsen your anxiety. It can make you overstimulated, right? And also, definitely, you are at PSC for an education. So you will have to, be very systematic, and you will have to handle all the, routine stuff that you have to do. By making a list of things every day, having a small plan every day, taking small steps to your bigger goal every day can go a long time, in helping you to achieve your dreams, okay? So prioritize your tasks, okay? Don't, dwindle your time, on unnecessary stuff, which may just waste your time and not give you anything at the end of 3 years, right? So prioritize your tasks, make some small goals every day towards the larger ambition that you have in life. And definitely, going about your education in a systematic fashion will definitely reduce your stress, as a student, right? So try to manage your stress in life in a very smart way. Also, my friends, some of you, will face some mental health challenges along the way, this journey that you will take, at your college, right? So at various points of time, you will find a lot of disappointments. You will have some problems in your education. You may develop some problems in your social life. You may have problems in your family life, which are inevitable. Problems are inevitable in life. But many times what happens is we don't talk about those problems, right? So there is great value in sharing our problems and troubles with someone, right? Believe me, being a psychiatrist, I can vouch for it, that just talking about the difficult things that you're going through with someone can make a lot of difference on your mental health, right? So if you're going through some trouble, talk with your loved one, talk with someone whom you can trust. And also, if you are going through a good time, make it a point that you become a, eager and patient listener. Okay, you listen to the troubles of some of your friends when they are going through bad times, right? Be that good friend. Okay, as I told, be a buddy, right? To some of your friends who are going through trouble. Okay, don't shy away from helping people who are going through mental health issues. Many times what happens is, because of the stigma that we have around mental health problems like depression and anxiety, many times we feel that talking about it would make us feel awkward in our group of friends, right? We may feel that if I disclose these private things, somebody may misutilize it. Okay, somebody may talk about it elsewhere, right? And it may hinder my career, or it may hinder my future life, right? So it is time that we understand, right? And the COVID-19 pandemic has really shown us how a change, a disruption in our life can impact our mental health. And all of us have experienced loneliness, all of us have experienced sadness, anxiety and frustration during the months when we were in lockdown. So we have to realize that each one of us can go through mental health issues, and there is nothing wrong in sharing with someone. And also we have to be a very sensitive person when somebody talks about it, and we have to become that buddy who will listen to their troubles, right? And help them get over it. And at times, it may be very difficult for you to manage your problems. At that time, don't hesitate to get help and seek help from a professional, from a mental health professional, such as a clinical psychologist or a psychiatrist, or a college counselor who may be available in your campus, right? Don't hesitate to seek help when you have tried your best and you are unable to get over it, right? So look for warning signs, right? If you are not feeling good, if you feel that your quality of life is not good, if you are not able to do well in your academics, if you feel that you are getting more addicted to your devices, if you feel that you are getting attracted to substances, if you're feeling that you are not interested in socializing, you are feeling that you are not able to connect with your family like before, these may be warning signs of a underlying mental health issue. And definitely seeking help can be a great step towards overcoming these problems and challenges, because with the right guidance and with the right amount of efforts, nothing is impossible in this world, and I'm pretty sure you can overcome all these problems. So with this, few things, I would like to finally say that, I found this, very funny picture on the internet where they have showed the human evolution, right? We should not become those, like our ancestors, right? Who used to roam around. Okay, we should not roam around hooked to our devices. We should not roam around with our faces dug inside our screens, right? Definitely, they are all useful technologies, and I'm pretty sure many of you will learn about these technologies, and I'm pretty sure they are the way forward. We are not getting away from them anytime soon. But if we have the knowledge and the skills to utilize them in the right way, that can go a long way towards your success as a student at PES College of Engineering. And on this first day, I congratulate all of you for landing a seat in PES College of Engineering, Mandya. And I wish you all the best for your future endeavors. And last but not the least, I would like to thank you for your patient listening. And I once again thank all the faculty and management at PS College of Engineering for giving me this wonderful opportunity to connect with all the vibrant student community of PS College of Engineering. Thank you so much. I would hand it over to the moderators now.
Good afternoon, sir.
Yes.
Sir, actually, we have few questions from the student.
Yes.
First question is, sir, can you please talk about anxiety related to fear of developing a disease?
Right, right. So this is a very, very pertinent question, especially during the COVID-19 pandemic. We all have experienced something known as health anxiety during the lockdown, right? Leave any other person. When I went to the COVID ward where patients with COVID were there, I am a psychiatrist. I don't treat patients with COVID, but I had to go there because someone had a psychological issue. So when I went there for the first time, okay, during the lockdown, I felt as if I was seeing viruses everywhere in the air. My mind the logical mind tells me that there are no viruses. There are no viruses flying around, okay? But the heart tells me that there is a lot of, scary stuff in the air, right? Even though I am wearing the mask, I am wearing all the protective gear and the PPE, everything, I'm still so scared that I may breathe in the virus. I may give it to my family. I may give it to my 1-year-old at home, right? So we have all gone through this phase, not only healthcare workers, I'm pretty sure each and every one of us in certain extent. So this is something known as health anxiety, okay? And especially when we are, when we are exposed to a barrage of misinformation, especially, Kannada news channels, if you had watched it during the COVID pandemic, so lockdown especially. So basically they would show the number of deaths like a cricket score, in a match, right? So it would just create so much anxiety because so much of information, so much of scary images and videos being put on the TV. Even if you open on Facebook, you open Twitter, whatever you see, right? There is no respite. Anything you open, you are hearing and you are looking at images of, the scary virus, right? And definitely it is quite natural to feel anxious at that time, okay? Why do we have anxiety? Anxiety is actually an adaptive and natural mechanism for us to handle dangers in our life. For example, if you have exams tomorrow and you don't get anxious, you will be ill prepared for the exam. But if you are optimally anxious, you will sit and you will systematically study for the exam because you know that if you don't study, you will not perform well, right? So anxiety is a very natural and adaptive mechanism given by God himself, right, to all of us. So just anxiety is not bad, right? But sometimes, because if we are not careful about the thoughts that run in our head, okay, and some of the behaviors that we do. For example, when during lockdown, many of you may have searched Google, okay, whether having an itch in the throat is equal to COVID infection, okay? Just you walk, you watch Netflix overnight till 4 o'clock in the morning and you wake up with a sleepy head and some itching is there in the throat because of lack of sleep and stress. You immediately jump to the conclusion that I have COVID-19. I am pretty sure many of us have thought like this, right? And such behaviors, Googling about COVID-19 all the time, diagnosing yourself that you have COVID-19 infection instead of contacting a healthcare worker and describing your problems. Such behaviors can complicate the problem, right? So you have to understand that to a certain extent it is adaptive and useful because you will wear masks, you will keep social distance only if you are anxious, right? You will wash your hands only if you are anxious, right? So all anxiety is not bad, okay? But if you feel that it is excessive, try to manage your stress with the techniques that I told already, like exercise, good diet, good sleep, okay, meditation, yoga. All that can help you to relax, right? And if you feel that it is going overboard and it is, you are unable to really focus on your studies and you are unable to focus on anything in your life, then definitely you should seek professional help, right? So that is what is health anxiety. I hope I have answered your question. Ravinesh?
Sir, we have one more question. Sir, can you speak about controlling fear?
Yes. So, yeah. So I told already that, fear is a natural emotion that all of us experience. For example, just before I started this lecture, I was fearful, right? Because I may have done it 100 times, okay, but still I would feel fear, and it is an adaptive mechanism. I was able to deliver a good lecture because I was a little anxious. Ravinesh reminded me a week ago, and he sent me some reminders few days back. So that anxiety is basically helped me to prepare well for this seminar, to prepare, to read stuff, okay, to make my presentation interesting, so that I do a good lecture, right? And for some of us, when we are probably on the stage and when we are giving a presentation in front of a crowd, it is very, very natural for a lot of us to feel fearful. Many of us have fear about public speaking and talking in a crowd, right? In fact, there was a survey, it is frequently quoted in, if you listen to TED talks and all that, they asked people whether you want to be in a room with full of snakes, or you want to be in a room with 1,000 people where you have to give a lecture on stage. Most people chose that I would be in a room full of snakes. So public speaking is something which is fearful, right? And of course, during or just before your exams, you would feel fearful, right? Or something big coming in your life, because what your body is telling you is that there is something important coming, right? And you need to prepare for it. You need to mobilize your energy. You need to prepare a plan so that you tackle this challenge in your life, right? So fear is that emotion, okay? But sometimes fear can become excessive and irrational, right? For example, uh, for some of us, as I already told, the fear that I have COVID-19 can become so excessive that people thought of even ending their life. You may have read about it in newspapers or in the TV channels, right? So such excessive fear definitely needs intervention with medicines, with help from psychiatrists, as well as counseling and psychotherapy from psychologists. So to manage fear, understand that it is a natural emotion most of the time, okay? Prepare well, okay? Understand your thoughts, okay? Understand that not all the thoughts that come to your mind are true, right? For example, just before you go on stage, you may get a thought that I will do a very bad performance. That is just an opinion or just a thought that is coming in your mind, right? That is not a fact, okay? So being mindful of your thoughts and trying to reframe your thoughts. For example, you can rephrase those thoughts such as, I am feeling anxious because I have a big performance to deliver in front of the students of PS College of Engineering. So it is quite natural for me to feel fearful, and I am well prepared. So let me do it. Okay. So you just need to reframe, how you think about whatever you are experiencing or whatever is going on in your mind. So as I told, understand that it is natural and adaptive many times. Prepare very well, have a plan, okay? And the next thing that I told, okay, it went off my mind, okay? So basically, with very simple steps which I explained so far, okay, you can manage your fear. But if it is irrational and excessive, don't hesitate to take help from some professional. I hope I have answered your question, Ravinesh.
Yes, sir. Good afternoon, all. I am Sumantes, Assistant Professor, Department of Electronics and Communication Engineering. It's my privilege to present a vote of thanks. Thank you so much, sir, for spending your valuable time with us and providing an valuable input for young budding engineers regarding and balancing addiction for and digital devices. On behalf of PSCE, wholeheartedly, thank you so much, sir.
Thank you so much, Sumanta. I was on mute, I think. Yeah.
Okay, sir. Thanks so much. This is a caution for the students. Okay, the next session will be on and live in the same link. Okay, you have a 15 minutes break. We will be back in another 15 minutes. Thank you
Thank
so
you.
much, sir, once again.
Thank you.
Okay. So a very good afternoon once again. I welcome all the participants, freshers, to this session related to rainwater harvesting and management of waste and all those things related to environment. So the main purpose of this induction program is to main purpose of this induction program is to make sure that our students are have information about different streams of the society. It is not like we want to call it, we want to just impart technical education. We want to make sure that our students are we want to make sure that the students are involved in different activities which can trigger out passion in them, or which can bring out the environmentalists who are really interested in pursuing a career related to environment or saving environment, these type of activities. So in this way, in this direction, our college has taken the initiative to make sure that this induction program will be a full-fledged package. In this direction, I would like to invite the speaker for this session, Dr. L. Prasanna Kumar, who is a professor in Department of Geology in PS College of Engineering, Mandya. Basically, he is a teacher with more than 3 decades of experience, a researcher with more than 25 years of experience. He is an environmentalist. You can call him with different labels, but he is overall very attractive and active personality inside the college. He has given a lot of time, knowledge in bringing out biofuel into PS College of Engineering campus. Just to briskly say a few words about him, his eminent work has made way for many awards and recognitions, and has motivated many juniors like us to work in the field of biofuel, waste management, and environmental directions, which can have a long-term impact on the environment, which can create good impact on future generations. Okay, his eminent work, as I already said, has been recognized by various uh, has been rewarded with various awards like Kannada Rajyotsava Award in the year 2019, Kannada Sahitya Parishat Rajyotsava Award in the year 2019, Best Teacher Award 2018, Engineers Award, and you can list a lot of awards in that category. So the list goes on, as I say here, and there are few of the big list that we can make with respect to the awards and achievements that he has done. He has delivered more than hundreds of lectures and talks at various institutes, at various gram panchayatis, and also in various NGO related to various NGOs. He has worked hard to bring the project of establishment of establishment of Mandya District Biofuel Information and Demonstration Center to our college. He is one of the best person to listen to with respect to environment and its importance. Hope you all will have an informative talk informative session about environment and its importance, and how we can pass on the environment without damaging uh, its fuel, without like you can call it like okay. So he has done a lot of work, and I wish that this information will be passed on more effectively by Dr. Prasanna Kumar sir. I invite him to take over the session and continue forward from here on. Thank you.
Uh, Thank you, Ravinesh. So, good afternoon to all of you. So, the young budding engineers. So, from my side, just I want to tell you, as a technical engineer, you have to do some technical aspect. You have to give for some technical knowledge for our society. But as a environmental fellow, I have done a lot of work on environmental issues. In that regard, for example, if you take Mother Earth is given a lot of things uh, for mankind. But in the case of mankind, yes, what you have given for Mother Earth. This is the thing we had to come across. We had to understand the Mother Earth because everything is available on the Mother Earth. But what we are contributing for the Mother Earth. So in that regard, I have done some work on the environmental issue. But my experience I want to share with you. In that regard, in this session, because I have two sessions, in this session actually I want to deal about rainwater harvesting and recharging of borewells. So nowadays, water problem is everywhere, especially in Karnataka. So we have a lot of scarcity of water during summer. It's not only in Karnataka, all over the India, because some North Indian students also are viewing this particular lecture. Hence, we have to concentrate on this particular issue, how to save our water. Because one example I can give you, Rajasthan. Rajasthan is a desert. Rajasthan means it going to come to a picture in mind is a desert land. So within the desert land, a man, he is actually a doctor, Ayurvedic doctor. So that fellow, he has done around 2,500 square kilometer desert land. He has converted into thick reserve forest. So I think you not believe that Rajasthan, the intensity of rainwater is annually only 140 millimeter. So how it possible? So he has not taken a single amount, single naya paisa from MP or MLA or Government of India or Government of Rajasthan or from other source also, from the World Bank also. So he motivated the Rajasthan farmers, Rajasthan people. From them only he has converted the 2,500 square kilometer desert land. He has converted into thick reserve forest. So this is the thing modification we have observed, we have seen in desert land. Why can't in our area? So we had to change our mindset. We had to change the mindset and we had to work in that regard. Definitely we are going to come across. So ultimately the result is 100%. So positively we are going to get the result. In that regard, so now we can see this particular figure. Our PPT is coming on your screen. A girl is, this is actually a painting because I started my work in 1989 itself. So I go to the school, high school and all, and World Environment Day, World Water Day, Forest Day. So this kind of activity I'm going to do, I'm going to celebrate it along with the students. So one uh, seventh standard girl, she has written the painting. So this is not my work. So seventh standard girl, she has written this particular the painting and she has given this the slogan. So it is slogan is in Kannada. That is, we need the rainwater harvesting. Every drop of water we had to harvest, we had to protect. That is the meaning of it's written in the Kannada. So the meaning is like that. So always we are going to hold the umbrella in a reverse manner. In the picture, you can see that is contrary to that we have that the girl is that turned that umbrella into a reverse manner. Even she can wet by the rainwater, but not to waste that raindrops. So even that making a ulta of that particular umbrella, she is collecting all this particular water. By this way, we had to conserve the water, even not to waste a single drop of water in our area. So by that way only we are going to come across enhancing the groundwater potential in our area. So if you come to the second slide, so this is my house where I'm going to collect the simple technology I have. You can see the one earthen pot is there. On that, I have put a cotton cloth. So whatever the water is falling from that particular lintel level, so the same water I'm going to consume for drinking purpose. That means always we are going to have an adjustment. Always we have to go for so what do you call, we need a bottled water, that is distillery water. We need a aqua guard water. Through aqua guard only water comes, that water only have to drink like that. But rainwater is the purest water, so it is in the purest body where that water is having lot of minerals and it helps for our human body in the development of human body. If you see this particular picture, this is an ideal picture where the water we are going to send into the ground, where the water goes into the ground, the water level of the well, open well, is get enhanced. If you see that particular figure itself, so rainwater harvesting is nothing but it is an example for the rainwater harvesting. It may be a roof water, it may be a surface water, so water it may be. So the roof or the water is falling on the roof. The roof, it may be a tile roof, concrete roof, or slope roof, or AC roof, whatever it may be. So your slope, I mean, your roof must be clean. That's all. So whatever the water is coming on the falling on your roof, that water with filtration, we are sending the water into the ground. That is into the open well, where we are going to see the water level is get enhanced. Without sending the water into the ground, so we are not able to enhance the groundwater potential. Now, this is one technique, the rainwater harvesting. If you hold your cloth, if you take your cotton cloth, any cotton cloth, you tie the fore end with different material, and whatever the water is falling on that, that water is get filtered and get filled up with this earthen material. So this is called, we are going to be referred as the rainwater harvesting. Rainwater harvesting is nothing but whatever the water is falling on your area, it may be a roof, it may be a cloth, it may be a surface, it may be a tiles, what it may be, you just filter that and you collect and utilize that. So that is called as the rainwater harvesting. Yes, this is a one case study I'm going to telling about our Mandya itself. Normally, the Mandya is famous for Kaveri Galata. So any central government is come over here, I mean, come to the power. So normally, tug of war we are going to come across between the Karnataka as well as Tamil Nadu. So Supreme Court is giving a direction stating that you have to release this much of amount. This much of amount of water you have to release for the Tamil Nadu. So there we have a lot of Galata is going to happen in Mandya. But for Monday itself, so this is a one place, one location. In heavy rainfall, at one day, heavy rainfall comes. So you can able to see that there is no road. The drains are completely filled with the water. So up to a knee level, the water is flows, and people are so looking, holding the umbrella. They are enjoying very much. So I think I can ask one question. Either the water is having a color, either water is having a taste. Yes, we are change ourselves. So this is Kaveri water, this is borewell water, this is like that we are going to distinguish. But if you take actual water, there is no color, there is no taste at all. When you have a hard water, definitely taste is get different. When you see this particular picture, the water is having a brown color. So if you come across the roof water, it is not in brown color. But when the water is added into the mix up with the soil, it changes the color into this brown color. So this much of water is goes to the Tamil Nadu. That means from Manda, it go to the what you call nearby Manda. We have what you call the Bharti Nagar, that is called Kemdoddi. From Kemdoddi, it go to Shimsha River. From Shimsha River, it go to the Kaveri. From there, it go to Muttatti. Then it go to what you call Ogenkal Falls. It get enter into the Tamil Nadu. So here we are having a lot of nuisance we are going to come across in the Manda and in Karnataka itself. But whatever the water is falling on the surface in Mandya town itself, the water is simply goes along with the soil. Here only the water will not move. The high fertility of the soil also get eroded along with the water, and ultimately it reaches so Tamil Nadu, and ultimately it reaches the Mettur Dam, where the silt is very much deposited during summer season. That Tamil Nadu PWD department free of cost, they are allowed free of cost to take out that high fertile the silt material to their respective agricultural land. So because of that, the high fertile sand is available. The eroded materials is traveled from Karnataka to the Tamil Nadu. So the Tamil Nadu people in a year they are growing 3 crops. But in Mandya and all, we are going to grow. Earlier we are grow 2 crops, but now it is come to India reduced to the 1 crop now. This is because of we are not go for the practice of rainwater harvesting. The soil get eroded, weathered, eroded, and it is moving towards the Tamil Nadu because slope is towards Tamil Nadu only. So this kind of slogans we are commonly are going to see that. You can see the in the back side, the two fellows they are going to hold the umbrella. They are protecting from the rainwater. But this lady, so we are enjoying with the rainwater. But if you see in the front, so Male Neeru Ulisi, Jalakshama Ulisi. This is the slogan of our forest department people. I mean, all the people they are going to use. So save water, so save the rainwater like that. This is the slogan. Yes, this is the common thing we are going to show. I'm not going detail about what is the procedure of the storing the water. You can see within this. So from the roof, it goes come to the surface and it get stored in a storing material, that is sump or some any drum or something. That water we are going to harvest directly. You can go for utilize that particular water in a particular way of whatever you want. If it can go for drinking, it go for washing, it go for cloth washing, it go for bathing. So everything we are going to come across using this particular rainwater. This is another way of harvesting water. For example, if you see within this, we have this particular water is going to come across, and thereby it going to recharge into the open well. Where you have this, the groundwater potential is get declined. When the water get declined, water table is get declined. So the dissolved salt present within this water, so definitely is a higher concentration. So because of that, nitrate level is very high, the calcium carbonate level is very high, total TDS, total dissolved salt concentration is very high. By doing this kind of recharge for open well or bore well something, so this TDS level we can minimize. So it's having an impact on the human body. This is the method of the rainwater harvesting we have to adapt for our house itself. So at the time of construction of the house itself, if you go for the construction of the sump in the roof level, because I constructed a house, so 3 sumps I have come across. So each sump is measuring 35,000 liter capacity. Just to imagine 35,000 liter capacity means what is the dimension of that particular sump. So within the ground, below the ground, I have come across 2 sumps, and 1 sump we are going to come across on the ground floor roof. So first floor roof is going to falling on that. That is also the measuring of 35,000 liter. So directly from that particular the sump, 35,000 liter sump. So through gravitation force only. So if you just to turn on the tap, the water will flow. So in such a manner, at the time of construction itself, if you adopt this kind of technology, we can save a lot of water. Because nowadays in the Mysore and Bangalore in metropolitan cities, so if you adopt this kind of rainwater harvesting and recharging, so they're going to have a discount on the annual, that is a tax of on land tax. Yes, in a simple way, how we are going to calculate how much of water we can harvest in our roof area? You can see that area of 100 square meter. So 100 square meter, so building area, so area of the plat, the height of the rainfall is 0.6 meter or 600 millimeter or 24 inch. This is an ideal example I had taken. So what is the volume of rainwater we are going to collect in that particular building? So that means area of plat into height of the rainfall means area of the plat is 1000 square meter and intensity of rainfall, that is height of the rainfall, is 0.6 meter. Around 60 cubic meter of water, that is 60,000 liter of water we are going to harvest in a year, not in a single day. So it is a 1 year, because during the rainfall, that is rainy season, heavy rainfall is there, and occasional, because occasional rainfall means cyclone effect or some other disturbance is going to took place in the weather forecast. So in all consideration of that, 60,000 liters of water we can harvest of 100 square meter area. So 60,000 liter of water if you harvest in a particular area, what is the size of the sump we needed? That is most important, because unknowingly the people are going to come across a small sump. Afterwards, they are going to realize that I want to go for a bigger sump, but there is no area to construct because you are constructed already a house. We are not able to disturb that particular house. So initially we have to start. So we have to think and we have to plan how much of water we can harvest. So now occasionally we're going to tell here, assuming that 60,000 liter, only 60% of rainwater if you're going to harvest totally, so 36,000 liter of water we can harvest in a 1 year. Yes, in an ideal of 10 by 10 by 10 of sum, we can go for harvesting 36,000 of liters in that particular area. So 36,000 of liters means about 3 to 4 family members, those who are having a 3 to 4 family members. So you can go up to about 2 months of water you can harvest within that particular. You can utilize for 2 months. For example, come across 35,000 liter of sum of 3 sum, more than a lakh harvesting the water. If a half an hour rain comes, if a moderate rain comes, so definitely that water more than 1 lakh liter, it will come for more than 6 months for me. So we have 3 members, definitely come more than 6 months. Yes, this is a simple, this is one side. In the left hand side, you have the area, catchment area, and volume of rainfall, that is amount of rainfall. If you multiply this much of volume of water we're going to harvest in this particular area. This is an indication, pictorial representation for agriculture, rural farmers, just I have mentioned here. So this is one instrument we have indigenously developed, because in market lot of what you call new technologies available, that is filters. This is most important. Whatever the roof water is falling on your roof, so the roof must be clean. For example, if you're going to construct a new house in your area, so whatever the unwanted material, because once you come across a new house, so your old sofa will come, old chair will go out. That one is go to your roof area only. That is made up of iron. All this, when the water is contact with that, rusting process is going to take place. Thereby, the amount of water get contaminated. To avoid this, because whatever the rainwater we're going to harvest on the roof, definitely we need a good potable water. So for that ingenious built filter, we have come up with a new technology. It is costing about only 200 to 300 rupees. If you pay more than 6,000 to 8,000, definitely you will get good filters. But it is not, common people are not affordable. With a low economy, effectively, that whatever the water is falling on your roof, that particular roof water, it must be potable. Then only the people, because if you go for this cost is this cost is like that, go to charge about 10,000 or 15,000, people are not affordable of this. So in this particular this one figure, you can see that we have this particular instrument we're going to call the first flush. So initial, whatever the water is falling on your roof, so even if your roof area is not clean, because myself, before the commencement of the rainy season, I'm going to clean. How we are going to clean the house in your inside the house? In a similar manner, I'm going to clean on the roof of the top. So no dust has to be present on that. Then it's going to minimize the burden on this particular the flushing devices and filtering devices. So within this, when you go for this kind of activity, then you can expect a good potable, transparent potable water. It is directly can consumable, is going not having impact on the human body. This is the method we are going to follow. So from the roof water, it comes through the pipe. This is what we're going to call the filter chamber. Then it gets filtered. So filter chamber means it's not only is not a hi-fi technology. We are going to put a gravel and small gravel, big gravel, and next coarse sand and fine sand. So on the top of the sand, if you allow the water from the roof, it going have a eddies are going to took place. So thereby disturbance you are going to come across. We are going to put a sponge layer on that. Whatever the dust is coming on from the roof, so the dust is get segregated on the sponge layer and it get infiltrated. The pressure it created, so it gets infiltrated through the media, filter media, and comes to the sump below the ground level. So we have to give a overflow connection also for this, because we don't know nowadays how intensity of rainfall is going to reach us our earth surface. So in case of heavy rainfall, if you're not putting this overflow connection for the sump, definitely the clogging you're going to take place and the water is simply oozing out from your area. So that one we are connected into a open well. So if open well is present in your house, because nowadays the open well, the people are closing the open well. Yes, whenever I go to visit any houses, if the open well is present, I'm going to sincerely requesting so not to close your open well. You make it as a recharge pit that whatever the water is falling on your roof, you get filtered that and collected in the sump and overflow connection you give into this particular open well. Thereby, the groundwater potential is get increased. This is once again the sponge layer where the filter process we are going to come across through that rainwater is going to pass through definitely. But these are all costing about only 300 or 400 that much. So if you come across the low economy we have introduced into this particular filter area, into a filter of rainwater, definitely people are affordable. So this one you have to demonstrate in front of them only. People are going to come across so regularly to watch this particular. And this is one nowadays in the rural area, the open well, because the government had doing a great mistake while digging the borewell, because the Pitamaha of borewell is we are going to call Abdul Aziz Saab. So this Abdul Aziz Saab he has introduced with the one aspect, but that one made it every house about half a feet or 1 feet difference. Every house nowadays they're having the borewell. So there's no doubt we need a water, and ours money, our land, so our the energy, everything. But why can't you try? Why can't you tell? Whatever the water is falling on your roof, it is my water. Nobody is going to tell. So everything is myself. So open well is myself. Open well, I mean, borewell is ours. Money is ours. Land is ours. But why the water is falling on your area? It is ours. In that regard, whatever the water is falling on your area, you just to send into the ground. That's all. But one thing, selfishness is going to come across here. Whatever the water is falling on the earth and sending into the ground, the people are going to ask, yes, sir, I'm going to pass whatever the water falling on our area, I'm going to send into the ground. Is it that water is available in our area only? No, 100% I can tell, 100% surety I'm going to tell, whatever the water you're going to send into the ground, it may not stay in your area itself, because how the rivers or lakes or channels are like that going to water flow on the earth surface, inside the earth also the water flow from one area to another area. So in that case, whatever the water you are sending into the ground, that water, it may go your backside house, or left side house, or front side house, or right side house, or it may cross into the next our another street also. So in that case, the people are asking, so why you have to go for harvesting the water? Why you have to go for sending the water into the ground? So if you are not doing, myself is not doing, others are not doing, so who is going to do this? So because of that only, Bangalore is scarcity of water nowadays is changing, because whatever the what you call the infiltration area. For example, if you take, so the footpath is completely covered with the good tiles. The road is completely covered with the asphalt. And if you're going to construct a house in any new house, so you are completely covering. So if your rainwater hits the surface, the water has to flow outside. So because of that only, you're going to come across a Rajikal way in Bangalore. It is designed for that particular area. Now, every area is having Rajakal way. It minimizes that area, and water volume is get increases due to that. So water is spilling out, and the media is come to the picture and is they're showing, so this much of water is flow on the road, this much of water is flow. And also we have the lakes. The lakes are, we are completely covered, and we have, it is acting as a recharge area. We have covered that and filled the soil, and we make a sites, and they are going to construct the houses in that particular area. Yes, this is the one beautiful picture you can practice in your house, how we can go for harvesting. In the first left top one, directly for when the rain comes, for 5 minutes you leave that water, because the dust will come, and you connect the water to the sump, it gets stored here. In the second one, so in the top right one, where that water, 5 minutes water, you send it out, but flushing that silt material, and you can collect all the water directly into your container or sump or whatever it may be. And in the third one, bottom left one, where you have the filtration tank, so that filtered and you come to the sump. From that sump, you go to this particular the open well. Now we can see in the fourth one also, it is get filtered and sending that one into this your sump. So these are the different methods of rainwater harvesting. And this is the one in the left side. This is the one method, and in the right side, another smart fellow is holding the umbrella. I can see that. So that particular umbrella, yes. So uprooted that umbrella, and you having holding the tube-like structure. He has protected from the rain, as well as is harvesting the rainwater. At backside of that, the two ladies are holding the umbrella, and they are collecting the water from the water tank. The backside of the house, the simply the downwater pipe is full of water is go get wasted. So this is out of this, the front fellow is uprooted that particular umbrella. He is a smart guy, so and he is harvesting the water as well as protecting from the rainwater also. So this is one we are going to just talk about the first flush. Automatically in the Mysore, that youth hostel, we have come across this kind of thing. So we are going to come across the water from this. So it get what you call filtered, and next water about 25,000 liters sump, above ground sump, the water get collected here. Yes, we can. We are going to come across catch water where it falls on that particular area. So this is some eye-catching slogans we are going to come across. If somebody is going to look into that, what is that and why they have written? So some curious fellows, they come and they're going to visit, and they're going to take a full-fledged knowledge about this particular rainwater. And this is another one. So for pipe and all, we need the plastic only. The people are telling we need a plastic pipe only. No, this is from we have done for in Shumaga only. So in Shumaga, Adike ella jasti. Arakaya plant is very high. So the older fallen areca tree stem, if you're going to cut down and make a ordinary pipe, that, but even you can see that roof also, this is a mangrove tile roof. Whatever the water is falling that, so that water in the filter media, it get PVC, I mean concrete material that sump is there. Within that they're going to, they're not using for potable. They're not using for potable only because Shivamogga is having a scarcity during the summer. Even if you go for Agumbe during summer, if you drill a borehole in that particular area, you are not getting a single drop of water. Even 5,000 millimeter of, not 5,000, more than 10,000 of millimeter of intensity of rainfall hits in Agumbe. So that particular area during the summer, if you draw a borewell, if you go for a borewell, even if you go for 1,000 feet, you won't get a single drop of water. But if you come to the Rajasthan area, even the intensity of rainfall is only about 140 millimeter intensity of rainfall. But in the summer, if you go and drill a borewell for 200 to 300 feet itself, you'll get a good yield of water. So why this contradict the difference you are going to notice in heavy rainfall? So you don't get a single drop of water in the summer, but in the Rajasthan dry land, you will get a good yield of water. That is, the management aspect is very important. We have to notice. For example, just I can give in Rajasthan, 8 rivers is already dead. 8 rivers already dead because of the management is very poor. The management of water is very poor in that area. But now that dead rivers are flowing full-fledged of water. That is, intensity is only 140 millimeter. Just I can tell now here in our Karnataka itself, just adjacent to our Mandya district, when you travel from Mandya to Bangalore, so we are getting Chennapatna and Ramnagar. So in Chennapatna, we have one Shimsha, sorry, Kanua river. So I have not seen a single drop water within that river. But we are going to call this a Kanua river because heavy the sand mining is going to took place within that Kanwa river, the water is completely disappeared. Next, if you travel from Chanpatna to Ramnagar, when you go out of the Ramnagar stand area, they're going to call Arkavati river. So till today, this Arkavati river have not seen a single drop of water is flowing in that particular area. Because I have a lot of photographs of that. So the Ramnagar people sewage water is flowing or running in that particular river area. That means why I'm telling you here, Rajasthan intensity is only 140 millimeter. Dead 8 rivers are regenerated, it flowing full of water. But here in Chennapatna and Ramnagar area, it is 800 millimeter intensity of water. But so what is the faith of the river? So in that regard, we have that Shivamogga people, Agumbe people, they have learnt a lot. So if I ask one question, which is the highest rainfall area in Karnataka, most of the people are telling Agumbe. But the highest recording place, highest intensity of recording place is also moved from Agumbe, So that is place called Ilakkal. So alle Shivamoggadallane, so Ilakkal anta one place ಇದೆ. Ali it is highest rainfall since from last 2 years is recording. That is because, so in Agumbe, so deforestation is took place heavily. So due to that, so it's a common sense in our lower primary, the forest is going to receive the intensity of rainfall, highest intensity of rainfall. So when deterioration of the forest we have seen in Agumbe, intensity of rainfall is get decreases. So it shifted from Agumbe to the Inkal. So it is away from 12 kilometer from Agumbe. This is the one because so a lot of people are doing on research on this particular rainwater harvesting and breach. This is the one case because I have met a lot of people. This fellow is from Assisted town in Mandya proper itself. This fellow actually is job is he's having a one taxi. This fellow is with a common sense. Normally, he is going to visit Chennai frequently by his vehicle, that is on car. So he has seen in Chennai a lot of people adopted this rainwater harvesting as well as recharging. So he has constructed a house that AC room. even that AC roof water, not to waste whatever the water is falling on his roof, and the same water he is sending. You can see that because I'm searching for this kind of case studies. So as standard is family, I taken for photo along with the this particular rainwater harvesting structure. Because why I'm telling here, he is not studied any PUC or degree. So just he is about eighth standard pass out. This fellow is having an idea of this. So why can't the others? We have a graduate, so we have engineers, we have the PhD fellows, we have a lot of designated posts. The people are, you can adopt this particular thing, this rainwater harvesting and reach. Definitely we can do wonder. These are all the example we have come across in the Mysore district, because I worked in the Mysore district also. So from the what you call SDMC, so that is school development center, something some what I call some people are who are having this particular post. So we are going to convince them, and we are going to go for adopting this kind of technology even for the school building. This we had done in Chamranagar district, because Chamranagar district is a heavy drought area. So whatever the borewell you are going to drill, so even within a span of 1 year or 6 months, all the borewells are get dried up. So for that particular schools building, we are constructing this particular rainwater harvesting. Innovatively, we are going to come across. I think all of you see in the railway this one system. So we have the what you call punching of the tap. So normally ನಿಮ್ಮ ಮನೆಗಳಲ್ಲಿ ನಲ್ಲಿ ತಿರ್ಗಿಸಿದ್ರೆ ಜೋರ ನೀರು ಬರುತ್ತೆ. ಬಟ್ ಅದೇ ನೀವು ರೈಲ್ವೆ ಡಿಪಾರ್ಟ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ, if you go there, if you have to press very enormous pressure you have to put. That is why purposefully they have done that kind of tap, because ನೀವು ಸಣ್ಣಕ್ಕೆ ತಿರ್ಗಿಸಿತ್ತು ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ ನೀರನ್ನ ವೇಸ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ಬಿಡ್ತಾರ. ಸೊ ಇಲ್ಲಿಂದ ಮೈಸೂರಿಂದ ಮಂಡ್ಯಕ್ಕೆ ಬರೋಷ್ಟ್ರಲ್ಲಿ ನೀರೆಲ್ಲ ಖಾಲಿ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. So because of that only, the spring action is very, very hard. That kind of tap we have put for this particular sum. So this innovatively we are going to come across this kind of things. So under the training, we are going to conduct a lot of training. So the trainees are we're going to take to that particular place, and they're going to adopt this particular technology in their this one. You can see this one village. You can see that the faith of that particular building. So he has adopted this rainwater harvesting, and we can see one training trainers take them to this particular house. It is under construction. This fellow is standing in the window. He is asking for, give me that rainwater, I want to drink. So he is drinking the rainwater directly, and he is going to take down this mobile number and all, and he has sent the message after 15 days. Nothing is happened. Is fantastic. Like that, he has called to that particular owner of that particular house. This you can see that close up of that. So every day, I mean during the rainy season, he is going to monitor how much of water I harvested. You can see that scale is present. So we have put the scale here. How much of water we have collected within this? How much of water we have utilized? That means dairy has maintained on this particular rainwater harvesting. You see that building faith, how the building. So he has adopted this particular technology. So that hi-fi building, they are not go for adopting this kind of thing. You can see this. So a sheet AC roof house, and he has adopted this particular rainwater harvesting. And now this one is present in the Carpet in Monday itself. So you can see that the slope terrace, that the gable roof and mangrove tiles roof fellow. So he is harvesting the water, and you can see inside this. So inside this, the water is carries out, and he is going to have the bowl-like structure that cows and other domestic animals are going to use to drink that particular water, rainwater itself. This is one. You can see that from the roof, water gets filtered, and the excess of water we can send into this particular open well. So because of that, my sincere request, if you have any old open well, so you don't close, you close the top one and you leave as it is. If you have any disturbance for this, you close on the top. So you allow the water, rainwater into that. So in the bottom surface, somewhere else it get recharged into the ground. This is one has to tell, because I visited in Rajasthan. This is called how we are going to come across the sump, that is the tanks, that water storage tank. In a similar manner, in the Rajasthan, they have called this one as a tankas. So tankas is nothing but you can see that inside below the ground, you can see that inside layer is completely plastering with the mortar, and there is no what you call the steps for that. They have the ladder, they have to go down and you can walk through, and even they're having the light connection also. So you hear how much of water is harvested and how much of water is get stored within that. And in the left hand side, a lady is taking out that water. So no gents is allowed for this particular place. Only ladies is get allowed, and not allowed with the slippers or something. Once they are going to take out the water from this particular tankas, on the top of this opening, they're going to put tulsi pot on that. That means such a preciousness they are going to maintain is similar to this to the particular water. So in that way, and this is now in the Mysore. So you can see that one executive engineer, he has adopted the rainwater harvesting. Whatever the water is coming from the roof, he has harvested. It get filtered. This is the first one called as the conical mesh. Next, second one you're going to call it as the first flush, and the blue color one you're going to call it as the sand filters. So ನಾವು ಕೇಳಿರ್ಬೋದು ಮೂರು ಮಡಕೆ ವಿಧಾನದಲ್ಲಿ ಅಂತ. ಸೊ ಸೇಮ್ ಸಿಮಿಲರ್ ಸ್ಟ್ರಕ್ಚರ್ we have used. So for all these filters, it costs you about only within 1,000 rupees. But it is present in what you call shadow area. Nothing is going to happen. It comes for more than 25 years. In my house also the same thing. So already 18 years old, nothing is going to come across, nothing is going to happen. I painted for all this plastic PVC material, and it is coming fantastically. It's get working. This also you can see that this is the sand filter. You can see on the what you call that sponge layer. So small dust is present, it get collected and get filtered, and crystal clear water is going to go down into the sound. And this is one, they're going to use the PVC pipe for the from the roof, water is falling to this the sump and all. Some people innovatively they're going to think. Some people they're going to spend lavishly. So our ಮನೆಯವ್ರ ಹತ್ರ ನಮ್ಗೆ ಬೇಡ. So you go for different way. So for that such a person, such a people we are going to come across. So this is the chain, about 10 to 12 chains. Instead of putting the pipe here, we are going to put only the chain. So the sound is coming out from that. It is fantastically we have get experience for this. And now we can see the traditional Kalyanis all are vanishing now. So if you get this kind of, yes, you can close that and you go for making a site and all. The old, our ancestor people have come across this kind of Kalyanis and all for recharging purpose itself. So nowadays, this kind of Kalyani is completely disappeared. And now we can see that what I called a slogan, have polluted our water bodies beyond repair. It's not able to repair. Our only hope is so rain. This roof cannot go waste. That means in bottom surface. So it is taken in the Delhi area. So photo. So now whatever the roof is present, don't get waste of this particular rainwater. Yes, this is a common phenomenon we are going to come across. Yes, wherever I go, I'm going to take the photo, and that particular photo I'm going to put it in my PPT. So wherever roof water is going. So this is a common feature we are going to see in all houses. So whatever the water is falling on your roof, so it not to get enter into your house, not to get enter into your land, and it has to go out. So this kind of pipeline we have come across. So this is a natural waste we are doing. Whatever the purest form of rainwater, we are allowing to sending out, and it has to reach our soil mass. And this is one, you can see that water is a community property. We are going to tell water is a community property. If you see this particular figure, so the people, most of the people are sucking the water in terms of borewell. They are going to take out the water from the borewell. But here one fellow is once again is reloading the water into this particular the groundwater. So Out of these 10 people, only one fellow is refilling the water. So it is, the proportion is not good. So hence, so what we are thinking is, water is a community property. So idu nan jaga, nan jamino, nan niru. So whatever the water, whatever the land, whatever the property is yours. But whatever the water, rainwater is falling on your area, so it is not belongs to ours. Like that, we are sending the water outside. But within this picture, we are learning that, so only one fellow is reloading that water. It is not sufficient to so upgrade the groundwater quality or groundwater water table. It is not needed. Slowly we have to practice. It has to come through all your different people, that is community wise. This is one we have come across, what do you call, collaborative work with agriculture department, that is DKVK, that is Agriculture University Bangalore. So in Doddaballapur region, we have selected one particular area. So in the front page report, so front page report, you can see that in the top one, unknown means earlier. So Kerala portion, you can see the bottom one, it become green. That is called today. That means earlier we have started the project in that particular period. The top one is the condition. After 3 years, the same area is converted into this kind of land. So like this, if you just adjust with the environment, definitely we can convert from top to bottom. We can convert the top one as converted into the bottom one. So this kind of activity we need a lot nowadays. This is the one place in Kasaragod. You can see that you are not able to see a single grass root here. It's a slope. It's a mountain terrain, I mean hilly terrain. Whatever the water hits, rainwater hits, the soil erosion is very high. There is no percolation of water within this. So because of that, we have come across the contour trenching and small pit. So one single rainy season, we are allow the water into the ground. So then you see the next picture, how the transformation we have seen. The same area, same this one, but we have come across contour trenching and recharge pit. We allow the water to go into the ground. Because of that, you can see a thin blanket of the grass is developed on the surface. When the thin blanket of grass is developed, so there is no soil erosion. Whatever the water is hits this particular slopey terrain, it gets percolated and it gets enhanced the groundwater. So this kind of activity had enhanced in our area. This is one lakes. So now ಕೆರೆಗಳು ಅಂತ ನಾವು ಹೇಳ್ತಾ ಇದೀವಿ. You can see the lakes. This is the one lake in Mandya Taluk itself. So in the inside picture, this is the early, about 20 years back, I had taken this particular picture. So this picture, so now about 3 years back in the same area, just I gone to that particular area, taken the picture just to see how the difference, I mean, the changes we have noticed among this particular lakes. Earlier, the what we call the desilting process, the village people itself, they are going to do all this, and go for the volume of the water is get increases by desilting of that particular lakes or pond or tanks. But now, because of nobody has done this, you can see there is no water at all, only the weeds are grow. Thereby the volume of the water storing capacities get decreases. So because of that, the groundwater potential is get decreases in our area. This is a one where I told you, so in Rajasthan, about 8 rivers, dead rivers, it get regenerated. The top one is a book. One book is written by Sri Padre, is actually an activist in water harvesting. So he has written one book on Rupa Rail. Rupa Rail is a river name in Rajasthan. Earlier, the top one where this domestic animal is get died. So this particular picture we are seeing in the Rajasthan. Next, after 80 years, the same river is going to flow with full of water. So this much of changes we have observed in only 140 millimeter intensity of rainfall area. But so our area, 800 millimeter area, where it's full of flow of water we have seen, that one we are converted into desert land. So this kind of the changes, this may be because of global warming, yes, no doubt, but we are forgotten about the recharging of this, whatever the water falling on this earth. Yes, this is public wells and lakes are converted into dustbins in urban areas. In urban area, there is no open well. All are the completely closed. So earlier, these are the areas we are going to called as the recharge area, and also you can see this what I call lake, where we have seen the weeds are going to grow in this, and it minimizes the capacity of the volume of water. And another one, this is the most important because I have seen through my eyes only, because Namma ancestor they have told whatever the waste generated in your puja room, so we had to throw for outside, not in a stagnant water, in a flowing water only you have to throw. Like that, ನಮ್ಗೆ ನಮ್ಮ ಅಪ್ಪ ಅಮ್ಮದಿರು ತಾತದಿರು ಎಲ್ಲ ಹೇಳ್ಕೊಟ್ಟಿರೋದನ್ನ ನಾವು ಚಾಚು ತಪ್ಪದೆ ಒಂದು ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದೀವಿ ಅಷ್ಟೇ. That means whatever the waste generated, for example, in your house, any Satyang Puja, any some activities going on, so the waste generated from that particular activity, you have to throw into a flowing water. This is the Kaveri River, because I had done one project for environmental students in our college. So Sunday morning 9 o'clock we are standard. We have stand adjacent to the river Kaveri, the south bridge river Kaveri, and just keep on watch how much of people are going to throw into this particular river Kaveri. Because Bangalore people, there is no river is available in the Bangalore. ಅದು river ಇದೆ ಬೇಕಾದಷ್ಟಿದೆ, but they're all dirty waters. So we are going to follow that Bangalore fellow. They are going to have the in the what they call gunny bags and all. So they are going to throw the waste generated in their house, the puja waste generated in their house. They are going to throw into this particular what they call Kaveri river Kaveri. So according to the statistics, we have personally we had taken in a one day, that means not 24 hours, from 9 to 4 in Sunday, because Sunday heavy traffic is there. On that day, around 580 people have dumped their waste, Bangalore waste, into the river Kaveri. Then what are that contain means, ನಿಮಗೆ ಕುಂಕುಮ ಇದೆ, ಅರಿಶಿನ ಇದೆ, ಆಮೇಲೆ ಅಗರಬತ್ತಿ ವೇಸ್ಟ್ ಇದೆ, ಆಮೇಲೆ ಸೋಕಾಳಿ ಕ್ಯಾಂಪ್ ಫೈರ್ ವೇಸ್ಟ್, ಇದೆಲ್ಲ ಬೂದಿ ಹೂವ ಇದೆಲ್ಲ ಬರುತ್ತೆ. ನಿಮ್ಮ ಅರಿಶಿನ ಮತ್ತೆ ಕುಂಕುಮ ಏನಿದೆ, ಕುಂಕುಮ ಅಂತ ಅದರಲ್ಲಿ lead content ಇರುತ್ತೆ. Lead content is not going to dissolve in water. ಇಲ್ಲಿಂದ ಈ ನಾರ್ತ್ ಸೌತ್ ಬ್ರಿಡ್ಜ್ ಇಂದ ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ಮುಂದೆ ಹೋದ್ರೆ we going to get a great temple that is called ನಿಮಿಷಾಂಬ ದೇವಸ್ಥಾನ. ನಿಮಿಷಾಂಬ ಟೆಂಪಲ್ ಕಾಣುತ್ತೆ. ಸೊ ನಮ್ಮ ಮೈಥಾಲಜಿಕಲ್ಲಿ ನಾವು ದೇವಸ್ಥಾನದ ಹತ್ರ ಹೋಗಿ ಕೈಕಾಲು ತೊಳ್ಕೊಂಡು ಮುಖ ತೊಳ್ಕೊಂಡು ಸ್ನಾನ ಮಾಡೋದಿದ್ರೆ ಸ್ನಾನ ಮಾಡಿ, so you take a dip in the holy water, then you can go for perform the puja in the temple. But nowadays, my sincere advice, don't dip this kind of water. If you're going to dip in this kind of water, definitely you will get a skin diseases. That is just because of your lead content is come out from your arshna, kunkuma, ಮತ್ತೆ ಏನೇನು ವೇಸ್ಟ್ ಎಲ್ಲ ಬರುತ್ತೆ ಅದೆಲ್ಲ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಬಂದು ನಮ್ಮ ಸ್ಕಿನ್ ಹೈಲಿ ಸೆನ್ಸಿಟಿವ್. ಸೊ ಬಿಕಾಸ್ ಕೆಲವರು ಸ್ಕಿನ್ ಸೆನ್ಸಿಟಿವ್ ಇರಲ್ಲ, ಅವ್ರಿಗೇನು ಆಗಲ್ಲ. ಬಟ್ ಕೆಲವ್ರಿಗೆ ಸ್ಕಿನ್ ಸೆನ್ಸಿಟಿವ್ ಇದ್ರೆ, ಇಫ್ ಯು ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಎ ಸೆನ್ಸಿಟಿವ್ ಸ್ಕಿನ್, ಡೆಫಿನೆಟ್ಲಿ ನೀವು ಅಲ್ಲಿಂದ ಡಿಪ್ ಮಾಡಿ ಒಂದ್ 5 ನಿಮಿಷ ಆಚೆ ಹೋಗ್ತಿದಂಗೆನೆ ಇಚ್ಚಿಂಗ್ ಶುರುವಾಗುತ್ತೆ, ಗಂಧೆ ಶುರುವಾಗುತ್ತೆ, ರ್ಯಾಷಸ್ ಬರುತ್ತೆ. Then if you have to contact, no doubt you have to contact this skin doctor. So this is the kind of thing we are doing in our effect of urbanization. Most of the rivers water unfit for drinking. Yes, this is another in the national level, but it is illegal. So nowadays this one is not happening. When our great prime minister is selected from this Varanasi, Earlier, around 40,000 dead bodies are burning in that. That is a business. So normally we are going to tell our ancestors, they are going to tell whenever any dead body going to burn or something, your burial buried in the ground, don't look back. So that is the thing they have developed in our mind. So by curiosity, if you want to see what will happen, so in that case, this is the thing, they make an encashment of this. The people are that come with the body, they're going to burn off burnt dead body, they're going to throw in the river. Just to see that now this is completely banned now. Now since from last 3-4 years is completely banned. When the off burnt dead body they're going to throw into this water, just imagine how much of what type of virus bacteria get affected. And if you travel from this about 1 kilometer, that water, same water, they're going to pump it for Varanasi drinking water. So they're going to pump it for Varanasi drinking water. Just to assume they're going to put only the chlorination, that's all. From the chlorination, bacteria, viruses will not die. So lot of health effect you are going to see, you are going to notice all along this Varanasi people. So now our Prime Minister of India, they completely banned the burning of, so they have made it a different allocation that particular place they come across. But we are doing this kind of activity. And even spot on that Ganga Puja, whatever the thing we are going to perform, so we are going to come across Ganga Puja. So within this Ganga Puja, just to imagine that how much of material we are going to introduce into the flow of water. Yeah, this is another one. I think all of you are saying that Hutta anta Kannadadalli helತೀವಿ, ant hills. Yes, this Hutta or ant hills, this is the area we have to make it as the recharge area. Because why I'm telling is, this ant hills will not grow or not going to create this kind of structure where the rock is present. So whenever you get the moisture content in that particular area only, we are going to come across, we are going to notice this kind of ant hills. So normally any fellow, any borewell or something giving point for the borewells and all, that fellow normally they're going to come across for this kind of searching of this ant hills. So because of the moisture content, water body is available, they're going to show the one borehole. If you drill a borehole here, definitely you'll get a good yield of water. This is the indirect way of getting the borehole. So this is one we're going to come across, the construction of recharge pit. So this construction of recharge pit nowadays, how the soak pit we are construct in the rural area. So the similar manner we are going to come across the recharge pit. So here in the bottom surface we are not putting any concrete or any material. We are going to place one above the other the concrete things. Thereby you allow the excess water flow in that area. The water, because of the pressure, the water is sorry, the water is tends to move downwards. In that way, we have to encourage for the recharging of borewell. This is the different way, because I am doing consultancy, the same photographs I am going to share with you. So this is why the recharge structure we have to construct. So why the concrete rings we have to. So if you're not using these concrete rings, so definitely when the water is get filled with that, it become moisture. The collapsing of that particular area may took place. To avoid this incident, to avoid this particular incident, so we had to going to use this kind of what you call concrete materials in that. Yes, some people, whatever they have the old open well, to just to accommodate that excess water into that, and the same water is reaches your borewell also. Yes, you can see that the open drain, so there is no dirty water going to come across. These are all we had done for industry. Only rainwater is going to come across. So thereby recharging of this particular groundwater we are going to notice in this particular area. Yes, this is in front of houses. You have a U-shaped drain where that granite slab they have put. They are going to take out one granite slab. They are going to dig out the material and they're going to put the 20 mm jelly within this, and they're going to allow the water thereby. So 2 feet of water is going to store, and it won't move this side or this side or further forward or backward. It inevitably it has to go downwards, thereby it increases this particular potential of water. This is we have done for industries. So we have come across the recharge pit. You can see that we are sending the water and we are going to observe how much of water is going and how much of water within about half an hour or within a 1 hour, how much of water is goes into the ground, get infiltrated. These are all we are done through the consultancy. It get from the center, from our BRDC center. So this is where in this way where the recharging structure we are going to come across. This is one important. Normally, we are going to drill a borehole, so we get only about 1 inch of water, 2 inch of water. It is not sufficient for our day-to-day activity like that. Yes. Before that, while telling before this dialogue, how much of water you are sending into the ground? Just to think for a moment. No, we are not getting a good deal of water. But before that, how much of water you are sending into the ground? You think that you are not sending simply a small drop of water into the ground. How can you expect the good yield of water from your borewell? Yes, for this, we need this kind of activity recharging structure for the borewell. Definitely, so whatever the water is get stored in this is get settled here. This inevitably it has to go down and it gets settled in the groundwater, and the same water is going to come out on the top. You can see that. So this one we have done a lot of training program for agriculture department as well as the horticulture department for farmers and all. So they go for harvesting the rainwater in this particular area, thereby they can increase the yield of their borewell and also the quality of that. But because most of the borewells is hard water, most of the water is having a nitrate content. So for all these, dilution is the best method, or dilution is the best remedy. So where to get the good potable water, you can see that. So these are all the surrounding water along this borewell. Water gets stored, and this particular water it has to go inevitably into the ground. Thereby, it's going to come across. You are going to notice this recharge structure is very high. This is one important thing because here some common sense is needed. So this is in this way they have constructed. You can see that borewell, the water is coming from this particular plant, and one fine day due to heavy rainfall, the whole thing is completely covered with the mud. When the recharge structure is completely covered with the mud, definitely no single drop of water will not go. That means if you observe here, so whatever the soil get exposed here, we have to take out this soil, then allow the water into that. Thereby, so this kind of washing of this particular soil mass will not take place where the recharge will not take place. So this is in a domestic that is rainwater is allowing into the borewell where it get recharged. This is the some technology we have. And finally, think big with small drip. Don't go for high-fi dam construction. So always we have to go for the construction of a small check dam and allow the water to percolate into the ground. Thereby, the water potential is get increases. Just now I told about that. So he is not a film actor or a politician or nothing. So he is the god for the Rajasthan people. Just I told her that Dr. Rajendra Singh. So he's got a lot of award, Megas award for his excellent work. So he's actually having a 500 acre in UP where the wheat grows. He is the only son for his parent, and he has moved. So after he's finishing homeopathy doctor, so he has moved to Rajasthan. He wanted to do something for the society, where he has done a lot of activity for the Rajasthan people. Among them, 8 dead rivers is regenerated. He has given the rebirth for that particular rivers, and the people of Rajasthan, they are treated as a god for this particular person. Yes, with this, I'm going to wind up my lecture. So any question or something, you can ask any question or queries, or I'm available here only. So my mobile number is available. You can come across. So if you have any doubts or something, you can ask some question. In that regard, I can answer for your queries. So I hope you are enjoying this particular, because nowhere I have not used any words with the PPT. Whatever the case study I have deal, I have done consultancy. So with the photograph only, I have narrated some stories and all the things. So thank you. Thanks our PS Indian College principal and coordinator and Revnesh and all the concerned people for their effort bringing our lecture to your home itself. So thank you very much. If you have any queries, you can ask me. Thank you very much.
Okay, if you have any questions, please you can post me to the WhatsApp group admins personally. Some of the people have been chatting personal messages in the YouTube. That's why it has been disabled. Okay, if you have any question, you can personally contact to the coordinators, myself, Sumant, or to the Ravnesh WhatsApp number. That questions will be asked for in speakers. Until now, we have not got any questions. Okay. Good evening, everyone. I would like to thank Dr. Prasanna Kumar L for wonderful talk on rainwater harvesting technique. I am very much impressed the way you explained, sir. I hope all the students have felt the same. Rather than listening to the rainwater harvesting techniques, I think everyone implement the same from tomorrow itself or from now itself. And the points you have been explained, like in avoiding the waste throwing into an river, I request everyone from my side as well as from PS College of Engineering group to not to throw the waste in the river. Along with you, you try to advise to your neighbors or relatives to not to throw the waste into a river. And I would like to end with a quote, as Sir was explaining during the presentation. Water is an community property. It is not an individual property. Don't waste the water. On behalf of PS College of Engineering, wholeheartedly, I thank you once again, sir. And also, I would like to thank all young budding engineers for patience listening. And uh, for your kind information, your attendance will be taken through the Google Form. Okay, if you have been submitting the feedbacks, that will be treated as your attendance. Okay, for the last session for rainwater harvesting technique, it will be shared through the WhatsApp group. Please fill up those things. And for the tomorrow's session, the YouTube link and all the details will be shared to you by tomorrow morning 9 a.m. Okay, thank you all. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir.
Okay, thank you. Good thanks, sir. ಮುನ್ನ ಅಲ್ಲಿವರೆಗೂ reach ಮಾಡಕ್ಕೆ ಒಳ್ಳೆ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ನಾನು ಎಲ್ಲಿದೆ ಈಗ ಆಯ್ತು